Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In my today's video, I'm going to talk about a company which has been literally growing their sales in the past 2 years by more than 100% for the whole year. So the company's name is MAXVOLT Energy Industries Ltd. We'll go through their H2 FY26 results and through the Concall summary and understand what does the company does, what does the number says, and where is the demand coming from, what are they doing to, grow, and what makes this company a bit different from others. So if you look at the business model, right? So Maxwell Energy Industries, they actually manufacture battery cells packs for two-wheelers, three-wheelers, then for energy storage system, battery chargers, you know, e-cycle batteries. So that's what they do. And actually, if you see, right, they are not into manufacturing of these lithium cells. They import these from the other countries and then they bring it in India. And then they manufacture this battery pack for, for all these products and customize them also as per the requirement. And it's not just about manufacturing, right? So what the company is trying to become, right? They just don't want to manufacture these battery packs, but they want to recycle them as well. And, use it. So they want to make their company as a company where it's fully circle around lithium energy platform, not just manufacture it, but manufacture it, take it back from the old batteries, recycle it and repurpose it. So that's what their whole game plan or the whole business is built upon. And we'll understand this much more later when I speak about their growth plan and everything. So let's look at their uh, H2 numbers. So if you look at their H2 numbers, right, their YOY revenue increased by almost 148% to 167 crores, and profit after tax was up by almost 115% to 11.5 crores. And if you look for the whole year revenue, it increased by almost 176% to 297 crores, and PAT was up by almost 141% to 24.4 crores. And their EBITDA margins was slightly down for the whole year to 10.3, and PAT margin was down by around 6.9%. I'll go into that detail also why these margins were impacted and why they did not get the operating leverage which possibly they would have got. Okay, but before we get into that, we'll just go to the sector-wise revenue breakdown. So two-wheeler battery pack is still their bread and butter revenue because right now it contributed to around 73% of the revenue, which is around 217 crores. And the growth for this two-wheeler segment was around 147%. And for three-wheeler, the revenue contribution is around 22 crores, which is around 7.4%. But the growth was almost 5,564%. Even though the revenue contribution currently is low on three wheelers, but that's where the growth is going to come later, and I'll explain that to you when we go further. Then for the energy storage segment, the revenue contribution is around 7.2% to 21.4 crores. That also grew by almost 537%. Then for the battery charger, the revenue contribution was around 20.2 crores, which is around 6.8%, and the growth was around 139%. And their other business segment contributed around 16.2 crores, which is the overall revenue contribution of around 5.5%, which is a growth of around 111%. And if you look at their all these sectors now, they are all growing more than 100%. But the biggest next growth which is going to come for them are from the three wheelers and from the energy storage sector. So, and if you look at the for this manufacturer of battery pack, the most important thing is from how they're expanding their dealer and distribution network, and getting in partnership with OEMs. So if you look at them, their OEM partnership has increased to around 31 OEMs, which includes two and three wheelers, EPC and customized battery application. And their overall dealers and distributors around 875. And in terms of demand, right, the management is said that there is a huge demand from the current OEM and the dealers that they have. And what the management is saying, they want to satisfy their demand first. And then after they're able to satisfy, the pent up demand, which is for the current dealers and OEMs, then gradually they will start increasing the extra number of OEMs as well as the dealers and distributors, because they want to secure this relationship which they already have with these, with these dealers and OEMs. So that is one more thing. So this clearly shows that there's a huge demand in the market, and the company is trying to cater to this demand. And if we look at the decline in the margin, which I all told you, so the management said it is mainly because of the geopolitical issues which are happening at the back of which the raw material prices have increased. And we need to understand that these lithium cell batteries, right, they all imported from outside countries. And because of the declining of rupees against the dollars and other currencies, right, that has also impacted and increased the prices slightly, and due to which the margin has been slightly impacted. And there was a question asked on the geopolitical issues, how long is going to last, or what is going to be impact in the future. So management is very honest. They say they don't know how long will it last, and they hope that the worst impact is behind them, and in future it will get better. But one thing they definitely assured, right, that because of all these situations going on, what they're trying to do, right, they're already trying to get into agreement with the suppliers, and and hedging the material cost with these suppliers for the next 6 to 12 months. And the reason they're doing is because they can see that the demand is there in the market, and they don't want this demand to be disrupted at all. So from in advance only, they're hedging these material costs with these suppliers in advance. And plus, what they're doing, right, they're discussing with their bank to unlock more, how to say, more credit coverage and everything, so they can take more money in order to, make payments to these suppliers. At the same time, what the other things that they're doing is, right, they're getting into an agreement related to hedging the foreign exchange rate, so that in case if the rupee depreciates further, they'll not have much of an impact. And one more thing, what the yeah, Maxwell said, that this issue is not just with Maxwell which they're facing, it's with the whole EV market. Whole EV market is impacted by this increase in raw material prices and everything. And if you can read the con call of Aether also, they have said the same thing. And the other question was asked that why the inventory has almost more than doubled and the interest costs have increased. So again, the management came back to the same situation, because they are saying the situation currently in the market is not the same as last year because of this geopolitical issues, and there could be challenges in supply. So earlier they used to keep 3 months of inventory. Now, just to ensure that there is nothing goes wrong, they have now increased this inventory of 4 to 5 months, and that is the reason why the inventory numbers have increased, because they don't want the growth to be impacted at all. And the back of increase of cost, they said, because to make payments to these suppliers, as well as increase of the inventory cost, they had to take more short-term loans from the bank, at the back of which the interest rate has also increased. So this clearly shows that the management is so confident about the growth which is going to come in this year, that they're ready to take this commitment of increasing the inventory, as well as taking more loans from the bank in order to secure those inventories. And if you look at their growth, right, we will try to see how they're trying to expand. First, we'll look at their current plant, what they have in their capacity. Then we'll look at the new plant that they're opening, and we'll look at the recycling plant also. So before December 2025, they were able to produce around 6,500 batteries per month. Then when their phase one of expansion happened in their current plant, then their production almost increased by 100% to 14,000 batteries per month from January 2026, which helped them, to grow at such a high pace. And now what they're doing, that they're setting up a phase two also, which will add another 21,000 batteries per month production overall. So if we actually see from 14,000, that once this production is up and line, the overall battery production will go up to 35,000, which is almost more than 100%. And out of these 35,000 batteries, 50,000 batteries will be produced for two-wheelers, and the remaining 20,000 will be used for three-wheelers and for energy storage compound. And the management said that this phase two will be operational by mostly between October and November of FY27. And the other thing that they said, right, by the time the H1 result will come, they will have further update for us. And there was another question asked, like, okay, if we are expanding it so much, what about the demand? The management said that the demand is already there in advance, so they have no issue in case, when this production comes up in line, they'll be able to easily cater to the demand, and everything will be sold out. And the another important thing is, right, that this new 21,000 battery, per month, the plan that they're setting up, they said it is convertible across three-wheelers and ESS. So depending upon the demand of these products, they are able to switch the manufacturing between three-wheeler battery pack and ESS, which is quite a good sign. And let's get into their recycling part, right? That is one of their other major segment, because that is going to be, once these battery manufacturing is completed, the recycling is the part where they're going to get the next phase of growth. So for that, what they have done, they have established a subsidiary called MAXVOLT ENERGY. So for this, they have taken a land in Aligarh, and actually, the construction of this recycling plant was supposed to start by March 2026, but management said that due to delay from the approval from the government side, that the production, the construction of this plant only will start in August 2026. The total cost of making this plant will be around 282 crores, and it will only focus on recycling and nothing else. And this plant will be, how to say, will be constructed in three phases. The first phase will include around 125,000 square feet of plant, which will involve, the pilot line, and will have a crushing line, and which will have a capacity of around 7,800 metric tons. So what will happen, they'll take the old batteries, they will crush it, and they'll get the raw mass which they can use it for the recycling and other. So the total cost for the first will be around 75 crores, and by end of FY27 or the start of FY28, this first phase will start contributing to the revenue of this plant. And the management said that the EBITDA margin for this could be around 18 to 20%. And then the phase two, which will happen later once this phase will be completed, they will be able to, recover nickel, cobalt, magnesium, and lithium from these old batteries. So what will happen, right? As they're able to recover these things, right? So the dependence on import will reduce, and the overall cost of making these batteries will also reduce, which will help them to grow at much faster rate. At the same time, improve their margins. And the target that the management has said that for this plant by the end of 2035, the total production capacity would be around 25,000 metric tons. In terms of guidance, when which was asked to the management, right? So the management was quite, how to say, conservative. They said that the revenue will grow between around 50 to 70%. But personally, if you ask me, the 14,000, battery pack which they are making every month, last year was only contributed to half year of the revenue. This year it will contribute for the whole year. At the same time, if the second phase of the plan goes as planned by end of your October or November, which will start contributing the revenue, I think they can easily grow more than 70% to 100%. And the other thing what the management has said, right, they are targeting 5% share in India lithium recycling and battery pack manufacturing by FY22. That's a very, very big target. Let's see whether they're able to do it or not, because this will all depend how they're able to execute, their expansion plan, and especially their recycling manufacturing plan. And but I personally feel, and I'm confident about this, that they'll be able to do it, because till now whatever they have promised they have delivered without any, without much of an issue. So I think they'll be able to do that. And at the same time, you're right, the benefit of what the company is getting is from the sector tailwind, right? Because the management is very clear that the lithium and energy sector storage in India will grow not just for few years, but it will enter into a multi-decadal structural growth. At the same time, what is happening, right? The rules which are coming up in the market, right? That is also helping up, especially by the government. So the government has now mandated that all e-rickshaws should move from lead acid to lithium transition. Earlier, the target was given for 1st April 2027, but now it has been pushed to 2028. So that will also increase, the three-wheeler battery pack. At the same time, the solar plus storage requirement. So for on-grid solar about 10 kilowatt, the management said that the policy trend towards mandatory storage amount. So if it is more than that, the storage has to be increased. And in terms of recycling, there are certain policies by the government which will, which will give them some benefits overall. So if we look at the overall, the company is doing all the right thing. They're increasing their, capacity to cater to the demand. At the same time, they have sectoral tailwind. As of now, things look quite good for Maxwell. But at the same time, we don't know how things could change, or how, any things outside the business can impact the overall, like for the geopolitical issues impacting the raw material prices, as well as, declining of rupees. So we just need to keep an eye every every quarter, when the results will come out, so we know what the company is doing and whether they're able to execute this or not. And if they're able to execute it, I personally believe this stock can become a multi-bagger. This is not an investment advice, so I would if you are planning to invest, I would suggest do your own research or check with your investment advisor before putting your money. But personally, what I have seen and what I have researched about this, I think this, if the company is able to execute it, they, they can do really, really well. So if you like this video and the analysis, please do hit a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless.